Hi, Gay here from Simply Savvy Web, and this is video number 5 in the top 5 things you need to launch your website. And today we're going to be talking about your Get Found plan. Okay? So, firstly, just to recap what I spoke about in the first video, which covered the top 5 things. What is SEO? So, what does Google look for when ranking your website? So the 3 things that it really comes down to, the most important things, are having good quality relevant content on your website, a good user experience on your website, and also good quality relevant links to your site from other good quality relevant sites. Okay, so let's have a little look in more detail at those things. So the first 2 things that I mentioned are what we call on-page SEO. Okay, so with the content, you firstly need to make sure that it is of value to your visitors. So it's relevant to their needs, to what they're looking for, to the problems or the pain points that they have and how you can solve those problems. Okay, so you need to use keywords, so the words and phrases that your visitors are using to find what it is that you offer. Okay, so using those keywords throughout your content, but in a natural way. Okay, because that's what Google will index the words on your site, and that is how you rank for those keywords. So, and keeping your content regularly updated with fresh content, long form content. So make sure you've got at least 300 to 500 words per page to give Google something to index. And then the second part of on-page SEO is that on-page user experience. Okay, so when they arrive on your website, it's a good experience for them. So firstly, it needs to be mobile friendly. Okay, a lot of people are accessing content on mobiles these days, so make sure it works well on mobile and make sure it's fast to load. People don't have patience with slow loading websites, so if it takes too long to load, they'll click away and go to the next person. And make sure it's easy to navigate. Okay, so think about what it is, the sorts of things that your visitors will be looking for when they come to your website looking for something to solve their whatever problem that they're having. Okay, so make sure it's easy to find what it is. Okay, keep the navigation simple, the layout simple, so that it's easy for them. The last factor for ranking on Google is what we call off-page SEO, and these are things that are done on other websites, not on your website. So what we call backlinks are links that are from other websites back to your website. And this can be done with things like directory listings, so it could be general listings like Yellow Pages or TrueLocal, things like that. It could be industry specific, so specific to whatever industry you're in. It could be things like business networking directories, all sorts of things like that. Another aspect of creating backlinks is guest blogging on sites that are relevant to your industry. So that means you creating blog posts or having someone create them for you, and guest posting. It's quite a time-consuming option. It can be outsourced, but it does help with creating those backlinks, which then create authority for your site. One very important thing that you can make use of that is free is Google My Business. So make sure you have a Google My Business page. Okay, that is what will make you appear in what's called the local map pack. So in Google search results, when you see, and this particularly applies for sort of those local service-based businesses, where you in the search results you see a map and a number of websites listed, or a number of businesses listed in that under that map. That's coming from Google My Business. So it's very simple to set up, and it's free. Now, as I mentioned before, good SEO starts with keyword research and knowing what it is that your customers are searching for. Okay, so the first thing to do is brainstorm what it is that you think people will be using, what words, what phrases they'll be using when they're searching for your products or services. Okay, and then from there you can use a keyword research tool to get some ideas of what people are actually using when they're searching. Okay, so things like Google Keyword Planner, and another one that you can use is called Ubersuggest. It's by Neil Patel. Those are some tools that you can use. You type in the search terms that you think that your customers will be looking for, and then it will give you some suggestions of what's actually being used, and also things like monthly search volume and keyword difficulty. So how long can you expect it to take to be able to rank your website in search results? Well, I mean, I said here a general guideline, expect 3 to 6 months minimum, but really it depends on a few things, and it depends where you're starting from. If you're starting a brand new website, brand new domain, it takes time. But some of the things that really affect how long it does take are, firstly, how competitive your keywords are. So if you're in a very competitive industry, so something like weight loss, that's highly competitive, it's going to take longer and a lot more effort to rank for something like that. And also the location, okay, whether you're targeting a market that is local, so to a town, rather than a large capital city, that's more difficult, or if you're targeting something that's a target market that's regional or national or global, it just gets more and more difficult the wider your target market is. So that's also something to keep in mind. And lastly, when you are working on your search engine optimization, and you need to be measuring your results, tracking how you're going and what's working and what's not. And the tools that you can use to do that are Google Analytics and Google Search Console. These are free tools, and they'll track things like your traffic, where your visitors have come from, what pages they visit, how long they spend on the page, and then with Search Console you can also see what queries people have actually used, and how often those search terms have appeared in search results, how many times people have clicked on them, things like that. So those are free tools from Google, so make sure you set up an account and get the for Google Analytics there's a tracking code that you need to install on the website. So make sure you get that done, and so that you can keep a track of how you're going. Okay, so that's the final tutorial in this 5 things for website success series. So if you'd like to get in touch, that you can find me on Facebook. You can join me in my new Facebook group, the Website DIYers Hub. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel or go to my website. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the series, and I'll see you in the next series.